Yes, it's Monday, the first official workday of the week. Today, the 20th day in the month of June 2021. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform. The pinnacle of all discussions is back on radio, where we have robust conversations as we have issues affecting you and I, of course, shaping our world. Welcome once again. The program runs every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday. It is still part of our morning show, the one we call Morning Spice, right here on the flow of God's own state. My name is Michael Oni. Well, the only game in town, politics, has no season in Nigeria. Well, it's played in season and out of season, understandably. Political power gives access to wealth, of course, constitutional and extra constitutional powers, and exceptional influence on critical pillars of democracy and democratization. Of course, 2023 is still very much far, you will agree, but the social gospel of zoning, especially as it concerns the gubernatorial slot in the state, is, of course, very much on. Last week, if you followed our program, that was on Friday, it was about zoning. It was about 2023 gubernatorial election in Abia State. And there is this ongoing alignment and realignment, sectional consultative reach out. And the governor, the incumbent governor of Abia State, Dr. Ukwa, joined the fray, but on a disarming note, because he declared that he won't allow the politics of 2023 to distract his government. Well, the major takeaway is that the lobbyists of power retention, Ukwa, Ngwa bloc, they have courage of their convictions and they are taking their message to high places. 2023 may be 2 years away, but to politicians, it is just like tomorrow. Therefore, the strategy and footwork to the plum job in Abia State has begun in earnest. No matter how you see it, politicians are not leaving any stone unturned in justifying their claims, in rallying support, and perfecting their bargains. Last week, the Ukwa Elders Council, after their meeting, resolved to pursue an ambition of providing a successor to Abia State Governor Dr. Ukwa in 2023 to balance the rotation of the governorship seat. Of course, and based on two clans that make up Abia State, that's the old Abba and the old Benja zones. And this argument was further buttressed by their leader, who we had on the program on Friday, Dr. Max Undoagibe, who was on the platform last week. But in fairness, on our part, we are featuring a group from Abia North Senatorial District. They also have their own side of the argument. So it's going to be a balanced conversation. The second part of the conversation we started last week on the program, on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. So joining me this morning on the platform is Dr. Donald WACHUKWU, the coordinator of Equity Legacy Initiative. Doctor, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on the platform on Flow FM.
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me this morning.
All right. Interestingly, you have an idea of what we're talking about already. It is not new to you. Of course, it's about the governorship election in 2023. And you know the position of Ukwa Elders Council. So let me begin. Your interest group, what is your position talking about the Equity Legacy Initiative?
Yeah, as far as we are concerned, and as far as equity, fairness, and justice is concerned, Abia North Senatorial District has produced a governor of Abia State in the person of His Excellency Oji Ozo Carlo. And after him, His Excellency Theodore Ahamofula Oji became the governor from Abia Central Senatorial District. And after him, present governor is His Excellency Okezie Ibazu of Abia South Senatorial District. So as far as we are concerned, the next senatorial district to produce the next governor of Abia State should be Abia North. And that is what is right to be done for equity and fairness to prevail in Abia State, and to prevent any further polarization and balkanization of the state.
Okay, Doctor, what are you basing your permutation on? Is it on Abia Charter of Equity?
I'm basing my permutation on Abia Charter of Equity and on the senatorial district as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Interesting. Let's look at that again. In the agitation of Ngwa block last week, when we had that particular interest group on the program, it was said that the Abia Charter of Equity is based on Old Abba and Old Bender zones, and Old Bender zones have that particular zone has been favored for a long time now, sidelining Old Abba zone for a long time, right from the creation of this state, even back. If we date it back to the military administration, of course, that ruled Abia State, it's not been favorable to Old Abba zone. I don't know what will be your reaction to that.
My brother, when I really respect my brother, Dr. Max Ngwa, but at times it's quite amazing when people try to throw away the truth just for the purpose of achieving self-interest. I mean, we are talking about democracy. We are talking about the inception of democracy. How would you define what a military government did and joins it with what is taking place from the inception of democracy? I think it's high time we tell ourselves the truth. It's high time we stop this sentiments, but rather look at what the truth is. As far as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is concerned, it recognizes 3 senatorial districts. I don't seem to understand why people keep talking about Old Benin. I'm an Ngwa man from Abia Central, and Umunato man. And Umuaja is rather close to me than it is to Bende. I mean, than it is to where the former governor Ojuzokalo comes from, Iberi. If you want to look at it from that perspective, you would even rather say that my brother, the former governor TLG, was a governor. So why would people be talking about Old Bende, calling an Uwaya man a brother, Jew, and Iberi man? I mean, there are things that are unheard of. There are things that are unheard of. I really want to plead with my brothers, because I know he is representing an interest. Let them not create more problems for the Umunato people, because with the way they are going, they are trying to make it look like it can only happen. The Umunato people can only make it happen, as though they are the people that can make it happen. You may wish to recall that for our governor, the present governor, to emerge, it was a unified understanding of all the senatorial districts. If the Ngwa man had been left alone, I doubt if it would have been made possible. And you may wish to recall that it's not as though the Ngwa man has not been tried over time to become the governor of Abia State. But because leaving the Ngwa man alone, it hasn't been possible. This was why, in the good thought of the former governor of Abia State, who is from a senatorial district, he ensured that an Ngwa man, he made sure he tried to sell it to leaders who campaigned for equity and fairness. I was part of those people who campaigned, not picked, because I keep hearing him saying the former governor picked. You don't say such things. He advised and spoke to leaders to look at the Abia Charter of Equity and to try to come together as one to ensure that having served from Abia Central, the next governor should come from Abia South, and then these people who over time have not been able to get into that seat be given the opportunity. This was how the present governor emerged, by our collective efforts, not the efforts of just the Umunat or 3 local governments, by the collective effort of all the senatorial districts, Abia North, Abia South, and Abia Central. This was how he was voted for during the primaries, not picked. This was how he was voted for.
So, Doctor, you're also subscribing to the fact that the Ngwa, the Ukwa extraction has been marginalized for a long time, not until Dr. Okezekwazu became the governor of the state.
When you say marginalization, I mean, I don't seem to understand where you're coming from. Like I had said earlier on, in an election process, everybody seeks for a position. You go into the contest. If you are defeated as a result of certain things that are beyond you, you don't call that marginalization. You don't call that, like I had said earlier on, it has not been feasible for us over time, though we have been trying.
But the journey has been a long and tortuous journey of the truth, if we look at it, before Dr. Okezekwazu became the governor of Abia State. From that extraction.
From whose making?
Even the agitation started right from old Imo State, Dr. WACHUKWU. Yes. So would you say, because according to the conversation I had with Dr. Unde Agibe, that was last week, he said, even though it was long overdue, it was brought into fruition due to the intervention of the former governor, Senator Theodore Orji. So wouldn't you see that as marginalization?
As far as we are concerned, we're talking about the inception of democracy in Nigeria.
Interesting. So
whatever happens during the military, are you going to tell me that the military hated the Ngwa man to have appointed who they decided to appoint to the military at some point? It wasn't a democratic process. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm getting
So I wonder where the marginalization is coming from. If, for example, the military head of state decides to pick someone from somewhere, I mean, does that now, are you not telling me that the Ngwa man has been hated over the years, even by the northerners or by the military head of state? Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right. Now, the argument of Ukwa bloc is based on Abia Charter of Equity. According to the leader of that bloc, Dr. Max, he said, and I quote, that as enshrined by the founding fathers of Abia State, as enshrined in the Abia Charter of Equity, the rotation should be along the old Bende and old Abazon. That's what is enshrined in the Abia Charter of Equity. So,
my joy, you said old. Is my brother living in the old or in the present? The question we should ask ourselves is, what does the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognize? This is the basic question to ask. Constitution recognizes 3 senatorial districts. And from the inception of democracy in Nigeria in 1999, Abia Charter of Equity has been the norm. It has been the practice, though not yet been legislated upon, but has been the norm and has been the practice. So I don't seem to understand where in fact, when you are even looking at that old Bende and Abazon and Okwalangwa and the rest of the old Bende and Abazon, where does he place the Isukwato people, the Isukwato clan? So is it now a subject? Is it subject to convenience? When it is convenient, you lump Isukwato, and remember that there is senatorial district, you lump Isukwato to Abia North. When it is also convenient, you set it aside and keep it mute. You don't mention Isukwato.
Okay.
You remember the senatorial district at some point when it is convenient. When it is also convenient to you, you set it aside. I mean, we should stop all these things. It's not right. It is not right.
Another issue I want you to help us analyze this morning on the platform on Flow FM is: must the Charter of Equity be justifiable before a section of the political class respects its dictates?
As far as I'm concerned, the Charter of Equity must be justifiable, and it tells for itself that things should be done to display a show of fairness and equity in what we do.
Okay. Now let's look at the traditional settings right now, the traditional institution. It is believed that we need to respect our elders in the traditional institution, the traditional settings that we have, especially in Nigeria. You need to respect your elders, honor your father and your mothers. Now, this position was taken by Ngwa elders. Does that mean that the elders of Ngwa already took that decision on behalf of all Ngwa, which you're a part of? Because you also mentioned that you are from Ngwa extraction of Abia State.
Yeah, pardon me to ask, who are the people precisely? I don't know how inclusive the people who took this position are. Do you understand? Because I'm also aware that a whole lot of other people dissociated themselves from this. So I might not want to go into that because I've not yet come to know who and who, because I've also had the privilege to speak with a couple of leaders.
Ukwalangwa Elders Council is a recognized council as far as politicking is concerned, especially from that side of the state, I believe.
Well, you may also wish to note that some people have also dissociated themselves, the supposed council members. Do you understand? For me, I honestly would want my part of Abia Central to become the governor of the state. All right? It's my desire. I would love that. All right?
Okay.
But we must set aside personal interest for the general interest of our people. Like I had said in several other forums, that if we continue in this way, we may end up losing it all completely. I mean the Umunato. Because from what my brother has said, or he had said when you interacted with him, he has, for some reason, directly or indirectly, demeaned every other local government, thereby creating, or rather putting a nail on Umunato's head by making certain mentions and by ascribing certain things, which I might not want to talk about, but I want to really plead with my people. Let us do this thing right, and at the right time, they will thank people like us for standing like equity, fairness, and justice.
Now, another issue I want to bring this morning on the platform on Flow FM is the issue of timing. Governor Okezekwa came out and said, well, I'm still in charge. You should not come out now and talk about 2023 election when I'm still in charge. I do not want to be distracted. Well, some persons are of the opinion that, well, any serious politician should start preparing, of course, during the meetings and the likes, for 2023 election. What do you make of the timing?
Well, as a matter of fact, I honestly wouldn't have entertained this interview, all right? Having heard the government of Abia State speak through the chief press secretary to the government, expressing what you just reeled out. But I gave it a nod because my brother, having listened to what the governor said, still went ahead to grant this interview, thereby disregarding the desire of the governor. However, you may not really say that it is too early, because politics, it's all about planning and planning, but we must apply discretion in what we do in order not to affect or distract a sitting government for as long as he's on seat.
All right. Now, I want to take you back to the issue of Charter of Equity. It looks like every time we have an election, a general election coming in Abia State, we talk about the Abia Charter of Equity, talking about the rotation and, of course, along the senatorial district or along the clans now, whichever way we want to choose. Now, I want to ask you, how do you reconcile the Charter of Equity, which recommends that the administration of Abia State shall be on the basis of strict equality, of course, along maybe the senatorial zoning formula or the clans, which has not been passed under the law. It has not been passed by the House of Assembly, but it is being followed, I believe, by a particular political party, the PDP.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that zoning and efficiency run concurrent. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, my brother had said it from what I listened to, that all the local governments have who the cap fits. You will find competence in all the local governments. However, why zoning is quite important and very expedient and is a tradition is that it gives everybody sense of belonging. It's to a great extent brings development to all the senatorial districts. So zoning and competence run concurrently. You cannot set one aside for the other. So Abia Charter of Equity is very right.
Okay.
In what it has stated. So there is no conflict in disparity between zoning and efficiency.
Interesting.
You have competence.
All right.
Zoning must be continued in Abia State to prevent problems. And I plead with my people to kindly take it easy so we don't create more problems for Umunato. We are not a people on our own. And there was something he said that since His Excellency Okeze Ikpeazu emerged, that people are bitter that he has emerged. That since he emerged, this has been first, that has been first. And the question I want to ask him is this: did His Excellency Okeze Ikpeazu emerge through the effort of only Umunato? 3 local governments. Who is he referring to as people who are angry? Is it people who sat down, agreed, and insisted that an Ngwa man should be supported? Not only an Ngwa man, an Abia South man should be supported, meaning the enshrining of Abia Charter of Equity, competence, which they saw in Okeze Ikpeazu, His Excellency Okeze Ikpeazu, zoning rotation, which they saw in zoning to Abia South. Who is he referring to as people who are angry? I don't seem to get where our people are going with these kinds of statements. They are creating more problems for us. Umunato 3 local governments alone cannot produce a government. This is a collective understanding and agreement that rotation and competence should be ensured, which informed the emergence of His Excellency, a PhD holder, Governor Okeze Ikpeazu, and which informed the emergence of a governor from Abia South extraction. I plead with my people again and again and again, because Dr. Marx is representing a people. He's representing a group. So he is not just speaking for himself, he is speaking the minds of people. I plead with them to take it easy with their utterances. Else, they will create major problem for Ugunato with the Umuahia people, even with, because, there's nobody who does not have the right to seek to become governor of Abia State. There's a possibility that an Abia Central man from the Umuahia axis is desiring to be a governor. There is the possibility that an Ngwa man from the sitting governor's senatorial zone is seeking to be the governor. There is a possibility that an Ukwa man is also seeking to be the governor. If you now go about insisting that the Ugunato should be given that every other person, you are indirectly creating enmity between yourself and these other people who may be desiring to become the governor. And for anybody to emerge as a governor, it is always a collective bargain. No local government, not even a senatorial district alone can produce a governor. It's always a collective understanding. And I can also tell you that nobody is picked. People are elected. You can only lobby. And lobbying is allowed. Lobbying is talking to people's consciences for the right thing to be done. So, as he kept saying that this one was picked, that one was picked, I don't seem to understand where all those are coming from.
All right.
People were elected to offices.
It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. Monday edition. Monday is the first official work day of the week, and today is Monday. Is the last Monday in the month of June 2021, and I have been speaking with Dr. Donald WACHUKWU, the National Coordinator of Equity Legacy Initiative. And of course, it is about 2023 governorship election. Remember the position of Ngwa Elders Forum. It was also expatiated on the program last week on the platform. And of course, it looks like Equity Group is countering that position of the Ngwa elders. Now, just before I let you go this morning, Dr. Donald WACHUKWU, Equity Legacy Initiative, you're saying that the power should rotate to Abia North. One will be asking, where are you coming from? Do you have any political backing? What is Equity Legacy Initiative about?
People who know me know that I have always stood by equity, fairness in all spheres. I've spoken on issues at the national level. I've promoted equity in ensuring that women are given equal opportunity. Go and find out about the Women for Women, He for She. I initiated that group with the two former ministers of Women Affairs, Hajia Inachiroma and Hajia Zainab Meina. I sought for equity for women. In fact, there was a national procession of the Women for Women, He for She. Go and find out. I spoke there. When our party, the People Democratic Party, was in turmoil, I was one of the people who stood for equity and fairness. As it is today on issues of national interest, I have been having meetings for equity and fairness.
Okay.
So for anybody to think that I have vested interest, I remember I'm from Abia State. I cannot be talking about equity and fairness at all levels, and my states, will be left out. They say charity begins at home. Nobody's funding me. Nobody's funding Equity Legacy Initiative. Nobody's funding us. We are doing our things based on fairness. And also, remember that Abia has endured peace for a very long time. And we want that peace to still be sustained in Abia State. And I can assure my people, if we allow things go the way they should go, I can assure you that we will even get 16 years and not the 8 years that they are looking at.
All right. Dr. Donald WACHUKWU, I want to really appreciate your time on the platform this morning on Flow FM. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It is still the platform. Of course, you heard him. You heard his position, and of course, the position of a Equity Legacy Initiative group, of course, countering Ngwa Elders Forum. Of course, we had Ngwa last week. Interesting conversation. And I love politics so much. It comes with counter allegations and a lot of allegations, of course. One of the reasons I love politics. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. We take a break now. When we return, we will continue the conversation. Of course, later on, we throw the lines open. I'm still going to speak with Honorable OKORONKWO, the National Treasurer of Equity Legacy Initiative. Stay tuned.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, of course, a part of our morning show right here on the Flow of God's State. We're still talking the equity, the rotation of power come 2023. And this time around, we're having a balanced conversation. Of course, ripple effect of last week's conversation on the platform. Ripple effect of last week's conversation on the platform on Flow FM. And, this week we're balancing that conversation. It's about the equity group, of course, from Abia North. I do have the treasurer of that particular group. I spoke with the national coordinator. Let's get more reactions from the treasurer now. Honorable TITUS OKORONKWO. Glad to have you join us, Honorable TITUS. Good morning to you and welcome to the platform.
Good morning, my dear. My pleasure.
You're welcome. I have the true position of your group concerning the 2023 general elections, which you're saying the governorship seat should be zoned to Abia North Senatorial District. But I want to get your reaction concerning the position of Ngwa Elders Forum.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Recently, the governor has said stop eating the policy and allow him to work. But I must react to this issue. First and foremost, let me say that we have a rotational system in Abia State. Abia North, that is OUK, they has taken that slot. ELG for Abia Central, OKD Bazo for Abia South. Normally, it would go back to Abia North. That is the natural way it should be. Okwalangwa reacting that this their time, it is out of place to allow things to take the natural way. After Abia North, then it should go back to Abia South, then they can agitate. But the agitation now is unacceptable, has no basis.
Now, why do you say it is unacceptable? They have the right to their opinion also. I understand. I know you understand that. But why are you saying it is unacceptable? They took a position. And why are you against that position?
I say it's unacceptable because there is a zoning pattern in place. And that zoning pattern produced the governor of Abia North Extraction, OUK, produced that of Abia Central Extraction, ELG, and produced the current governor. That zoning pattern that is in place has to be maintained. You don't just start, you don't just get to the goalpost and you change the whole system. The system has to flow the way it has been established to flow.
So why is your group... okay.
It's only natural and proper for the rotational principle to take a natural course by returning to Abia North. Now that the cycle will be completed in 2023, then we can start a new cycle. This cycle will end in 2023, then they can now start agitating.
So, okay, let me take you on the cycle now that you've mentioned. Some persons are saying that since it has started, it is going to end with Abia South come 2023. That the position should be thrown open since all the zones have had a shot.
All the zones have had a shot, and we are meant to start from the beginning. You count one, after one you count two, after two you count three. We have counted one, Abia North. We have counted 2, Abia Central. We are counting 3 now, Abia South. After this, we should start from Abia North. That is what the Charter of Equity says. The Constitution recognizes 3 senatorial zones, Abia North, Central, and South. You can't just start changing it overnight. It doesn't happen anywhere.
Do you subscribe to the clan or the senatorial zoning formula?
The senatorial zone, that is constitutional. Yes, it is constitutional. It is constitutional. That is North, South, and Central. That is what we subscribe.
All right. But according to Dr. Max, that was last week, just like I asked Dr. Donald, he says, Dr. Max says that the Abia founding fathers divided, of course, the rotational formula along the clans, the old Aba and the old Bende clans, and it should follow such. That the old Aba zones has been so marginalized that this is the first time someone from that extraction has had a fair share of the governorship seat. I don't know what you make of that.
The old Aba zone and Aba Bende block, that's the regional arrangement. Abia State constitutionally has 3 senatorial zones. And not regional arrangement. So any attempt to go back to the regional arrangement will not only be a betrayal of trust, but also amount to changing the goalposts at the middle of the match. The Constitution of Nigeria has to be respected, and what is the senatorial zones and not the regional arrangement.
So where do you think this is coming at this point in time when you are agitating for Abia North to have a fair share of these, of course, based on equity and justice? And Ngwa came up at a time that a lot of persons weren't even expecting politicking. And they came up and said, no, we should retain, the power should be retained by the old Aba zone for equity also. This is the first time someone from that extraction will be getting the seat, and it should be retained for equity, since others had 16 years back, looking at former Governor Orji Uzakalu and also former Governors Senator also Theodore Orji.
Dr. Joseph Carlo handed power to D.A. Orji. Joseph Carlo represented Abia North. D.A. Orji represented Abia Central. Dr. Kezi Bazo is representing Abia South. And that is the senatorial arrangement. What they are saying is regional arrangement. Like I said earlier, it is just unacceptable. I don't know where they are coming from. I don't know what is behind their motive. But we should allow peace to reign in Abia. Abia has remained the most peaceful state in Nigeria, and we should allow that peace to continue reigning. Let us not just wake up one morning and disorganize ourselves and cause problems or tension around. This is politics. But it's better in their own interest, let them relax and let this thing take its own course.
All right. According to your group, of course, you're clamoring that and you're agitating that power should rotate to Abia North Senatorial District. Is there any other internal rotational formula that you have that you have planned, even if power is being said to be rotating to Abia North? Is there going to be another formula that will be used? Maybe it is going to be coming from the Ukwa district or the Ohafia side and the likes.
Yes, certainly. When it is eventually done, and I know it will done by the by Abia North, the local government areas in Abia North, that is Bende, Ohafia, Arotiku, Ukwa, Umunoti, the local government areas, we will now sit down together and look for a credible person. Of course, everybody is competent. There are so many competent people. But we have to really sit down amongst ourselves and decide the local government that will go. We will not start fighting ourselves. Bende will not fight Ukwa, the Ukwa will not fight Umunoti, Ohata will not fight Arotiku. it has to be an internal, to have an internal understanding, and we'll bring out whoever we think is competent, and we'll give him full support to represent us.
All right. Honorable Titus, I want to really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the platform on Flow FM.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. Now, you have the position of the Equity Legacy Initiative Group. What do you make of the group's position concerning 2023 election in Abia State? Of course, intriguing, interesting. Honorable Titus OKORONKWO, we spoke with just now, National Treasurer of Equity Legacy Initiative. The lines are very much open now. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Ikechukwu calling from Umaya.
You're welcome, Ikechukwu.
I will ask, this Ngwa, which senatorial zone does it fall into? Is it Abia South, or Central North or North?
I don't have an answer to your question. I believe that will be answered by
in
the
that
interest groups.
In that since their zone is based on senatorial zone, and all the whole zones have partaked, I would suggest they should throw it open between Abia Central and Abia North. You know what I'm telling you? Whoever that got it among them, then that remaining left out zone will wait till after 8 years. It should go to them. You know what I'm telling you? Than taking it to only Abia North. It will look uncompetitive, unqualitative, and it will look undemocratic. You know what I'm telling you?
All right, Ikechukwu.
Fine.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
My name is Ngwa, and I'm calling you from Umai.
All right.
Yeah, I listened to your guest, Titus OKORONKWO. What he told you and what he said is just the truth. All these other people talking about Old Bende and Old Abba zone, they are just being economical with the truth. Even if they want to go by regional arrangement, why are they being silent about the Sukwato district? If you go by zonal arrangement and you mention only Old Bende and Old Abba, you are being mischievous. The Sukwato district is an integral part of Abia Charter of Equity. So even if they want to go by regional arrangement, the Old Abba zone has nothing. They don't have any stakes or whatsoever. It should be the turn of the Sukwato district because Governor Kezibazo has taken the turn of Old Abba zone. So if there is any region that should cry or talk about marginalization, it is still the Sukwato district, which also fall into Abia North. So head or tail, power should return to Abia North. Anybody who is conscious, anybody who has a conscience should know that that is the truth. But the truth about the matter is that we are not even, nobody is talking about that colonial arrangement anymore. Even every other state in Nigeria, power rotates, even from where you come from, power rotates around the senatorial zones. So the thing is that these guys have tested power and they are now desperate to hang on and cling onto power. So I know that at the end of the day, this their inordinate ambition will never see the light of the day.
All right.
Thank you very
for
much.
Sharing your thoughts with us. Glad to have you join us. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM. You're welcome. All right. If you can call back, your line is very faint. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, you're welcome.
My good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
My name is Mr. Chijoke from Bedford Road.
You're welcome, Mr. Chiyoke.
I'm a native of Iloma Istato.
All right.
I will not say that I will not condemn, those that are agitating for another tenor from Ngwa. But what my advice to them is, let them, I keep on saying it, 2015, all of them were, accepting that Ngwa people have never ruled as a governor. And that it is their turn. And by God's grace, they got that opportunity. What I suggest to Ngwa people generally that they're supposed to do is to call their son and ask him to work for them. Because opportunity comes but once. Let them stop praising. And like, for example, every morning, some people will come and continue to praise the governor. Other things cannot work. Let Ngwa people call their son and advise him to work for Ngwa. That this is your opportunity for him to work for them. Not if they are talking about 2023. I think if they are talking about 2023, it's a kind of somebody who has rights in his house and also asking for rights. It's not proper. So I am suggesting for them to have their son to work for them. But for me, I don't believe that any reasonable.
All right, thank you.
I don't believe that any reasonable person will be talking about 2023 in Abia State by now.
Yeah, you can't say that. We all have the right to our opinion anyways. That's politics for you. Good morning to you and welcome. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're welcome. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Yeah, thanks so much. I've listened to Donald WACHUKWU and TITUS OKORONKWO, and I'm so glad the way they are speaking. They are talking the truth. In Abia, everybody know how we started this zoning arrangement. The zoning arrangement has been with the 3 senatorial zones. For Ukwa or Munato to come up now because they have tested power to say power must remain with them means they are not being they are not being grateful to the people that gave them power. They should remember how they went hand in cap, begging, even the time of Ojo Zokalo, for them to have only one turn. Fine and good. The power came from Abia North to Abia Central. And Abia Central, after having their turn, reasoned it that is reasonable to give to Abia South. And it was given to Abia South, honestly given to Abia South. And it was the general and consensus effort of all the Abians that gave power to Abia South. How come Abia South want to truncate the zoning system? Forgetting that this zoning system ushered in peace to Abia State, and that peace has been ready.
All right, quickly wrap up a search.
I should sincerely ask them to hands down their tools. They should hands down and allow the zoning to flow. Let it go back to Abia North.
All right, thank you.
From Abia North, when it comes back to Abia Central again, they can come up to glamour, they can come up to agitate, they can come up to say they have to test it.
All right, thank you
for now,
sharing.
They should forget about that system.
All right.
Thank you so much. My name is Honorable Leo Nyekure.
You're welcome,
calling from Umahia.
You're welcome, Honorable Leo, for sharing your thoughts with us. Welcome. Good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
My colleague.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Deacon Abraham from Umahia.
You're welcome, Deacon.
Yes. If those that say that they believe in equity, if it is true, why should they allow Doti to wrestle with the OKC pass almost up to the end of the tenure, the first tenure, not the second tenure? If the agreement of Abia State that is a status of equity that Abia South from this time around, if it is true, why must they go to court when others win? You understand my question?
All right.
See, let me tell you, power is not given, it's taken.
All right.
There's no agreement on that. the Charter of Equity. It's only done by PDP. It's not from any other party. It's not from the Abia state.
All right, thank you, Deacon
to,
Abraham.
Let him contest. Anyone that wins, let him take over the seat of governor. That is my take.
Thank you for your take. Madu Abuchi Confidence Noah on our Facebook page says, "Good morning, Michael. I appreciate the take of your guest. Constitution recognized as senatorial zone. So the 3 zones have taken their slots. Let power shift to Abia North." Magnus Emmanuel says, "I greet you. Sending my message from Owerri. I love this program." Okay, those are the messages. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Of course, today for the first edition of the program, The Platform, on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. We will be back on Wednesday. That's when we bring to you another edition of the program. And of course, we look at another topical issue that we will dissect, of course, by our analyst. Thank you very much once again. Many thanks to my producer, Samson Eze, and Uyaya Basi Jimmy. Thank you, guys. And the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. Do enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Michael Oni.